Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna show you a new minifigure on Parade module. Last time we built a colorful module for the lifeguard, but today we're gonna move to something a little bit more spooky. Not long ago we built the wizard module. At that time I asked you which one you wanted me to build first between the wizard and the ghost. The wizard was the first one, but now it's time for the ghost as the spooky season is coming soon. Here we have our 8x16 module. If you're not familiar with the minifigure on Parade concept, I will link down below my first video of the series with the tutorial on how to build, or you can check out Rambling Brick on Instagram, where you can find out more about this concept. Now, as usual, we are gonna have the minifigure in the center. Later we're gonna make it a little bit more fancy. A tall structure on the side, a smaller build on the left. Now let's start from this side. As you can see, I already built up a little bit of the terrain, which is on a different color scheme compared to the wizard. Here we are gonna use some green, but we are gonna go with normal green to make it a little bit different compared to the previous one, and also a little bit brighter. So here I already built up a few bits of this build. The plan for this side is to build some sort of cemetery. So I made a sort of broken up terrain because I want to use this minifigure end that come from a minifigure monster from series 14 coming out of the grave. So here I'm gonna try to put this one inside there. Okay, and with a couple of brackets I'm gonna kept it into place so that it doesn't go around. So here we completed the terrain, so it's mostly a normal green terrain with some dark brown and reddish brown to give the effect of this broken ground and the end coming up. To make it more recognizable, I'm gonna add some sort of stone at the back, tilted on an angle, and I think the effect is pretty much good. Now let's try to create a little bit of separation between this graveyard and the rest of the build. I'm gonna put this one on an angle as a sort of broken up part of the rail. So as you can see here we are missing one, and this is gonna go there on an angle. Let's see if we can put everything together nicely. I use some jumpers here to create a little bit of additional details, and here we have the completed build for this side, but it's still missing a little bit of color, I think. So what I decided to do is to use the color scheme that I use for my recent Lord of the Rings Rings of Power build. We have this modified brick over there, modified plate that connect to the modified brick, and now we have a nice splash of color into the build. I did this because I realized that I don't have any orange part to create pumpkins for the Halloween build. So I decided at least to add this sort of autumn tree in orange and yellow, and I think it looks great. Now, let's try to pose this ghost a little bit better to make it a little bit more interesting. So of course we want this ghost to be flying around, so I'm gonna use some transparent parts, connect to his end so that we can give him an interesting flying pose, and also let's give him some accessories. So here we have some sort of lamp, bring some light, there we go. So now it's definitely a more interesting build with this ghost flying around, and I did that also because I wanted this build to come a little bit taller than the previous one, because I want this to be at the back, so I need to build a little bit higher on all sides. Now over here again we go with the green, and this is gonna be covered up mostly with a building. Now this is the base. I'm gonna create some stairs that will lead up into this sort of haunted house that I'm gonna build over here. this is the main structure, let's say the first floor of this build. I use this sand green masonry brick, a little bit of extra spacing at the bottom, and I brick build with some tiles, a tiny door. Of course, it's not proportionate to the minifigure, but I needed to compromise a little bit in terms of scale. I have a couple of open studs there because I want to add some wooden bars to make it look like it's abandoned. And you can see here I'm also using one of the broken reddish brown plates. I didn't break it on purpose, but it's one of those that keep breaking on their own. And also here we are going to add a little bit of railings for additional details. So we have one over here, another corner on the other side, and then here on a jumper I also added a candlestick here. I think also give a nice splash of color to break up the monotony of the sand green at the back. So now the build is coming together nicely, but now we need to add one more floor to make this a little bit taller. I wanted to create some sort of balcony, and this is the solution I came up with. I have this 3x3 curved plate, to which I add another of these monster minifigure for Series 14. This is the zombie pirate, because I want him to come out sort of the balcony on top. I'm gonna add this curved fence over here. I kept the same color scheme, and this is gonna connect to the jumper there like this. So now you can have a little bit of an idea of what's going on. I also needed to add some sort of cover, some sort of roof, because it was a bit empty. So I took just a couple of these 2x2 wedge plates, and this is gonna create a sort of broken up effect to this sort of little roof that cover the entrance of the build. It is a bit weird, but I think it looks okay. It has an interesting effect, and I can angle it a little bit if I want to. I can rotate those a little bit. For the top part, again, we went with the sand green, and I added a sort of broken window effect. So we have some trans clear parts, slopes, plates, tiles. So now we can see how the zombie minifigure is actually coming off the window through that broken glass. On top, I went with a simple roof. Remember last time I had a bit of trouble creating this rounded shape one. So today I went with black, very simple, straightforward, slopes different kinds. I connect this on top. This is gonna tilt and push a little bit the minifigure outside, so it is a bit on an angle. I also tried to do something different here. I actually wanted to use this piece that is actually the one that fits there, but I think the color scheme didn't match. This still doesn't work with the sand green, so I decided to just add a couple of those, and it's also giving a little bit of broken up effect as well. To finish it up, on top I decided to add some sort of smoke coming off a little chimney on top, and then I realized that over here at the bottom is again a little bit empty, so I need to create some sort of cover like at the bottom, and the easiest way to do that was to add some slopes. So let's put this down like this, so we have easier access. I'm just adding some of these slopes. Maybe we can take this out for a while. Different colors, create a little bit of variation. These are very easy to connect just on the underside of the roof. And then we can try to go and push back the balcony with our zombie minifigure coming off the window. Let's see if I can find the right tile. There we go. Okay, just to add a little bit accent more of color, I'm gonna add a little bone over here at on the floor, and now our spooky minifigure minifigure on parade module is ready. Of course, if you want, as you know, you can set this up as an individual module. Just add a little bit of framing around, and this can work on its own if you want to decorate your house for the spooky season, or you can put it together with the previous modules. In this case, I'm not gonna take them all out, but we can put it together with the wizard, which is also kind of spooky, I would say. So now we have our two minifigure on parade modules put together. I think it's a pretty nice scene. So they all have their own private habitat, and they fit kind of well together. So let me know, guys, in the comments down below, what do you think about this, and go check out the playlist with all my minifigure on parade module. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Ciao, ciao!